Hey, welcome. Today, we're diving into something pretty incredible, those golden stages of your child's brain development. It's this period of just explosive potential, and it literally sets the stage for their whole life.
80%. I want you to just sit with that number for a second. 80%. That's how much of your child's brain is already formed by the time they're just 3 years old. Think about that. It's this incredible once-in-a-lifetime growth spurt.
Okay, I get it. Seeing a number like that might feel a little intense, right? Like a lot of pressure. But that's not what this is about. Let's flip the script here. This isn't pressure. It's a mission. It's this amazing, meaningful chance you get to build a foundation for a healthy, happy, really capable person.
All right, so here's what we've got on tap. We'll kick things off with the parent's mission, then jump into how a brain actually grows. After that, we'll cover the golden stages, give you a parent's toolkit, and wrap it all up with the long-term vision.
So, let's talk about this mission. What does it actually mean? Well, it's all about understanding that these first few years, they're just not like any other time in a person's life. The experiences, the relationships your child has right now, they are literally building the architecture of their brain. This is the foundation for everything that comes later: learning, behavior, even their health.
Okay, let's get into the science a bit. But don't worry, we'll keep it simple. You definitely don't need to be a neuroscientist to get this. Just knowing the basics of what's happening under the hood is, honestly, super empowering.
So check out this chart. It really shows you the raw speed of this growth spurt. At birth, a baby's brain is about 25% of its adult size. Makes sense. But look at this jump. By age 3, it's at 80%. And by 5, 90%. But here's the key thing. It's not just about the brain getting bigger. It's about it getting smarter, more connected.
So how does all that connecting happen? It's all about these things called synapses. Just think of them as the wiring in the brain, the little information highways that connect everything. And get this, in these early years, a toddler's brain is firing off hundreds of these new connections every single second. It is a full-on construction boom happening on a scale you can't even imagine.
And here's something that might actually blow your mind. A 2-year-old's brain has about twice as many of these synapses as an adult's brain. It's just this dense, tangled web of pure potential. So what happens? Well, the brain starts a process called synaptic pruning. It's basically a use it or lose it system. The connections that get used all the time, they get stronger, faster, more efficient. The ones that don't, they just fade away. That's how the brain goes from this messy web of possibilities to a super efficient roadmap.
All right, so we know the brain is building and then fine-tuning itself. So, when are the best times to make a real impact? That brings us to what we're calling the golden stages, these key windows of opportunity. Now, a quick heads up. If you start Googling this, you're going to see experts break these stages down in slightly different ways. One might say there are 3 stages, another might say 5. You know what? Don't get bogged down in the specifics. The main takeaway, the thing every single expert agrees on, is this. What happens in these early years is absolutely critical for building that foundation. So let's walk through a general timeline of how this all unfolds. From birth to about age 2, that's the foundation. This is when all those sensory, motor, and emotional pathways get laid down. Then from 2 to 7, you get the explosion, a huge boom in language and social skills. Next up, 7 to 11 is the refinement phase, where logical thinking really starts to lock in. And then from 11 on up, it's all about integration, developing that complex, abstract thought that sets us up for being an adult. Okay, so we've covered the why this all matters and the when it's happening. Now for the really important part, the how. What can you actually do? Well, let's open up the Parent's Toolkit. And I've got great news for you. You don't need a bunch of expensive toys or fancy lesson plans for this. So what's the most powerful tool you have? It's right here in this quote from Dr. Jack Shonkoff at Harvard. He says it perfectly. The most important interaction you can have with a child is to play with them. That's it. It's that simple. Play is how the brain learns, how it connects, and how it grows. Okay, one of the best ways to think about this is a concept called serve and return. Seriously, picture a game of tennis. Your child serves. They make a sound, they point at something, they give you a look, and your job is to return the serve. You respond, you look back, you say something, you acknowledge what they did. It's this simple back and forth. And it really is this simple. Step 1, just notice their serve. What are they looking at? What sound did they make? Step 2, return it. Smile, say a word. Step 3, name it. Oh, you see the big red ball? Step 4, take turns, pause, and give them a chance to serve again. And 5, practice little endings and beginnings.
The best part? This isn't a special activity. You can do this while you're changing a diaper, during bath time, anytime. Every single one of these moments is a chance to build their brain.
And you know, this isn't just about language and logic. Building a safe emotional space is just as important. When you cuddle a crying baby, you're doing so much more than just stopping the noise. You are answering a distress signal from the most basic part of their brain. And by doing that over and over, especially in that first year, you are literally wiring their brain to be able to handle stress and calm themselves down later in life.
And of course, you gotta have the right building materials, right? We can't talk about building a brain without talking about food. Things like fish with omega-3s, eggs for choline, berries, broccoli. These are all like the premium fuel and high-quality bricks needed for all that brain construction.
Okay, let's take a step back and look at the big picture here. All of these little things we've been talking about, the serves and returns, the cuddles, they're all part of a much bigger long-term vision. You're not just building for today or tomorrow, you're building for a lifetime.
25. That's about the age when scientists consider the human brain to be fully mature. A quarter of a century. So that foundation you're building in these first few years, it has to be strong enough to support a skyscraper that's going to be under construction for the next 25 years.
And that brings us right back to where we started. Remember the mission? It was never about trying to create some kind of super genius or pushing your kid to be ahead of the curve. No, the real mission is about building a strong, flexible, and solid foundation. One that can support a lifetime of learning, good health, and just genuine happiness.
So the next time you're down on the floor playing, or you return that little babbled serve, or you give that extra cuddle, just remember what you're really doing. In every one of those small, simple moments today, you are literally building the person they're going to be tomorrow.
Health is the most precious gift. If this video helped you or someone you love, please like, subscribe, and share so more families can stay safe and healthy.